Hey, Eagles fans. This is Afia here, co-host of Three Birds and a Punt. This is episode 22 of Three Birds and a Punt called Countdown to the Draft. I'm joined by my friends Whip and John. Say hey, guys.
What up, y'all?
Hey.
Now, I know we've been on a little hiatus, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be subscribing to the pod, subscribing to the YouTube channel, following us on Instagram, and following us on Twitter. This is the premier fan-based podcast. You do not want to miss our videos because we out here giving you the nitty-gritty. So let's really just jump right into it, right? There's been a lot of things going on in Eagles world, sports world, and the pop world, and I just want to dive in. Let's start with the athletic report. Zach Berm, Shell Capelletti, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, did a really great article earlier this week diving into the dysfunction in the NovaCare complex. So I really want to get you guys' thoughts. Let me start with you, John. How do you feel about that athletic report that came out?
Kind of brings home everything that Jeff McLean mentioned in his article previous. We know the common denominator is upstairs, and I mean, I don't see anything changing anytime soon. They really got to hit home on this draft. If they don't, they're gonna the boo bird's gonna be out. They're gonna be calling for Jeff to sell the team, Howie to be fired. Oh, it's gonna be a mess. But I mean, who knows? They could win 10 games this year. It's so hard to tell. That's the beauty of it.
I don't think so. It's not hard for me to tell. I don't think they win the 10 games, but I'm gonna let you be optimistic. Okay, let me go to my resident Scrooge, Whip, because I know he's got something to say to this athletic report. What are your thoughts on this, Whip?
First and foremost, salutations, everybody. You talking about 10 games, boy. I swear to God, you are the G.I. Joe of this damn team, bro.
Yeah.
I swear. Well, it really wasn't a shocker, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody and their grandma knew what was going on, but just to hear it like this, that, Jeff Lurie is ruling with an iron fist like this, is crazy. Like, he to keep it a beam with you, do sound worse than Jerry Jones.
I feel like almost that Chip experience kind of like scarred him so bad that because he wasn't having Tuesday meetings with Andy. He wasn't micromanaging Andy, and Andy never even got us close to a Super Bowl. So it's crazy to me that they still did not trust Doug after everything that he accomplished after 2017. So it's no wonder.
I think a lot got to do with, and this may sound crazy, guys, but really think about this for a minute. I think it got a lot to do with him winning his first Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is that he got an opportunity to feel what other teams that won the Super Bowl felt like. And once he won that Super Bowl, I think he felt as though he was untouchable after that. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's like this is the life I wanted now. Now I'm going to run it the way I want it, because if it wasn't for me, Howie wouldn't have been able to put that roster together to win the Super Bowl.
Right. Like his worst tendencies are coming back because he feels validated.
Correct. So Jeff McLean, shout out to Jeff McLean, because he's a hell of a
yes, he do. He stay on the Eagles.
Yeah, he stay on it. That's why Howie Roseman can't stand him. Can't stand him. And John, you mentioned something just a few minutes ago about Jeffery Lurie selling the team. It's strange you say that, man, because the other day I was looking at Eagles.com and just catching up on things. And I was saying to myself, if Howie Roseman don't get this right and Jeffery Lurie continue to be a sports dictator, because that's what he is now, I think somebody's going to come in here and offer him some cash to buy that team. Because think about this real quick. He brought the team. He was a movie director. He didn't really do nothing with it. This man got his ear to the streets when it comes to the fans of Philadelphia. He knows what's going on. All right. If he continues to go down this path of destruction, with this Philadelphia team, knowing how the fan base is in this city, it will drive him to go crazy because they will be on his head. So that's a very, very interesting question that you said, John. So
I do want to talk to that point, to your point with I think that there is something to say to how, like, in Philadelphia, it's the Eagles and then everybody else, right? Correct. So I agree with you that if we don't have any sustainability of success, that the cries will get louder and louder. However, Lurie ain't got nothing. All he has is being owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. He doesn't have really that many other interests. As you say, his movie career, his producing isn't really that robust. So I just honestly, I see him digging in more and maybe firing Howie, right? But to kind of give you my thoughts on the Athletic report, just really quick, just to cap things off, I feel like it has been everything we've been saying on the show since we started this show. That Howie Roseman is enabling Jeffery Lurie to keep his job. He wants to survive. He doesn't necessarily actually want to build a thriving structure. And so what I thought was interesting about the report is understanding that it isn't even so much the office dynamics that's the problem in the NovaCare. It's the interpersonal relationships. It's how they work together. Howie does a bad job of getting everybody to buy in because he segments out information so that he's the only funnel to Lurie. So that means that there is no cohesion, and this collaboration that we're talking about, there is none. Like, I was listening to Zach Byrne the other day, and he was saying that the way that we draft is Howie has a couple picks, Lurie has a couple picks, then analytics get a couple picks, then maybe scouting gets a couple picks. It's not Philadelphia Eagles pick. It's these segments of populations pick. And that's how, and you can see it. Think about our drafts. You can see the pattern happening in the helter-skelter way we pick players. So that to me is a huge problem. And to your point, Whip, I would say what has enabled Lurie the most is the rise of analytics. The idea that he's getting more information than these so-called scouting and football guys. So that has empowered him to, I think, overstep his role as owner.
And that is very insightful that you just said that, because it leads me to believe this is why the so-called football guys are not in the office with these guys.
Okay. Did you know that the head of the analytics department for the Eagles went to school with Jeffery Lurie's son?
Exactly. Right? That little tidbit was in the report.
Wow. Yeah.
That little guy, what's his name? Alex Halaby. He is the next Howie Roseman. I tell you what, I swear to gosh, you heard it here first, Three Birds fans. If Howie Roseman gets fired, how much you want to bet it's an in-house hire, and that's that Alex Halaby guy?
See, and that's one of my problems with this team. And if y'all notice, I'm being calm this evening.
Mm-hmm. I can tell.
Yeah. This guy, and I'm not going to even mention Howie Roseman because it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lurie. This guy literally do not want a football guy in there. And here's another thing that really stood out about everything about this report. This guy got mad at Doug because he ran the ball to beat the damn Green Bay Packers. You wanted to throw the ball.
And the Bills game, too. Don't forget the Bills game.
Correct. Now, I'm starting to really believe this story. I am. I'm starting to believe it. Now, it brings me back to Carson Wentz now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Maybe, guys, maybe. And you heard it first here at Three Bird Fans, is that maybe it really wasn't Howie why he left. Something to think about. Maybe it was Jeffery Lurie. Think about this. He knew how close Howie and Jeffery Lurie was, correct? Y'all agree with that, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
He knew that nothing happens unless the big man, give it a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
So You ever notice Carson has not said not one thing about this yet? Nothing.
No, just that it was mutual and blah blah blah. He's moved on, you know.
Correct. So who's to say that this is a Jeffery Lurie production instead of a Howie Roseman production? I mean, think about it, because everything coming out now, and is more the blood stains is more on Jeffery Lurie, the owner, right?
I think it's a back and forth thing, right? Because to me, this is the thing. If I'm a GM, a self-respecting GM, I would say to the owner, you know, you hired me to make the best decisions for the team. If you kind of intercede, you are undermining my authority to make the best decisions for a team. That's what a good GM does, right? And that's the whole point. What Howie is doing is saying to himself, I rather have my job security than actually be building a foundational team. So he's willing to allow Lurie to feel empowered and emboldened, especially with the rise of analytics, you know, and kind of overstep his bounds, especially in the coaching area. Because to me, it's interesting. Just my final point, okay, to this whole thing, and when we can kind of go on to the next topic. And at the beginning of 2017, remember the Washington football team game, right? We thought we were going to lose, then we went on the win, and the team showered Doug in Gatorade. And we all thought that it was because Mike Lombardi had put out that report calling Doug the worst coaching hire, blah, blah, blah. No, it actually is because guess what? Jeff Lurie was thinking the same thing. He had a 3-hour interview with Jeff Schwartz trying to replace Doug Peterson. That just tells you how dysfunctional this operation is. You wouldn't even get this man, and he won you the Super Bowl that same year, and you was about to fire him.
And maybe that's why Jim Schwartz left too, because he didn't want to deal with the chaos no more. You get what I'm saying? Because think about this. He told everybody he's going to take 1 year off, right? What happened?
He barely went, 2-3 months before he got a new job?
Yeah, and is back in the NFL.
Yep.
So here's the thing, real quick before we move to the next topic. Somebody in this organization, somebody who used to be in this organization, somebody has to tell the fans something. We cannot go on.
They are, Whip. They tell us
everything. I'm talking about inside the big house. I don't want the Jeff McClains to tell us, because we already know it. But there is some explaining that needs to be done immediately.
That's the thing, though. They want to be anonymous. They don't want the smoke.
Correct. Well, you see how Howie is going around checking people's phones, trying to make sure that he's the only one leaking. Come on, ain't nobody trying to put their name to nothing.
Wow.
So I mean, it's just gonna be on us Birds fans to keep bringing truth to flower, you know, and keep just pointing out all the inconsistencies of this team. So let's get into our next topic, okay? Speaking of inconsistencies, okay, we're going into the draft. And what is going to be happening, what the Birds are going to be doing when we're on the clock with the 12th pick. We have heard reports that Howie wants to move up. Everybody got all blah, blah, blah when they heard that. So I want to hear your thoughts. Let's start with you, Mr. Whip.
Now, everybody thought I was crazy 2 or 3 weeks ago. You know, our number one fan, Connor, said, hey, Whip, you're crazy. This don't make any sense for them to move back
shout out
to
12.
Connor. Yeah, shout out to Connor. Everybody said I was crazy because, you know, they moved out of 12, and, you know, they got all these picks. So now it's better for them. They got more picks. But I kept trying to tell everybody what I say, what I say.
How he wants to back in that top 10.
Yep. Negro Damas. I told everybody that man was going to move up. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I went crazy when they moved out. Y'all seen the video. I snapped. But now that he accumulated more picks, he has the firepower to now possibly move up more beyond 6. And you already know I'm not a Kyle Pitts guy, but I like him. He's a great guy. I know that guy at the bottom of the screen is. But me, I would love to have Jamar Chase. Okay? Now, me and my sister right here, we had this conversation was it yesterday? We did. There is an opportunity that Howie Roseman and John, you said this, that he has to hit on the draft, correct? That's what you said, right?
Has to.
Okay.
Has to.
Word on the street, and I'm saying word on the street, air to the ground. They may shock the world on the 29th beyond what a lot of Eagle fans don't see coming. It's not a smoke and mirrors thing either. Okay, me and that young lady right there, she know what I'm talking about. That's why she's smiling.
We at Three Birds, we keep our sources close, and we keep our ears to the ground, and we really will let you know what's going on. Okay, when you hear it from the reports, no, we saw it first.
Correct. So let's just say this, because I don't want to be the one to say I told you so, or it may happen. I just want you to see it for yourself. But yeah, I think something big is going to happen with the Philadelphia Eagles that nobody expected. Okay, so just keep your eyes peeled and be ready for the 29th. What's your thoughts, John, on the draft?
I love the draft. I'm excited for it. You know, we accumulate a lot of picks. I just hope we draft the best player available at every slot. That's the main thing.
It was killing you not to say Kyle Pitts, wasn't it?
I would love Kyle Pitts, but realistically, I like J.C. Horn as a better fit. We need a corner.
I think at 12,
my draft, I had 3 corners.
Right. That's what I think. I think at 12, I agree with you, John. At 12, we're probably going to be going defense. You know, and listen, y'all know how I felt about us moving. Okay. I think that every time Howie makes moves, it gives him more room. And that's why I'm not feeling it, because it tells to me he's not somebody that's feeling the pressure. Like y'all all keep getting these reports. Oh, Howie Roseman recognizes how important this draft is. Oh, Howie Roseman's gonna do this. Oh, this is draft season. Everybody's talking to everybody. What you're hearing is conversations being had with other GMs that are saying, listen, if a guy I like falls beyond this point, what would be worth for me to jump up to where you at? You have to have these conversations before the draft so that when the draft comes, you're not sitting there like a duck with your ass out, whatever, getting shot up by these other guys passing you. So
the Vikings, remember the Vikings? They didn't get their pick in time, and they got skipped. 2 teams picked back to back.
Exactly. You don't want that situation to happen. And Howie does not like to be embarrassed. And neither does. And the one thing you could say for Howie is that he is always making calls. Okay, he is always trying to establish parameters for a transaction to go down. So would it not surprise me to see us jump back in 10? Oh yeah, perfect, fine. Who's it for? That I think would bother a lot of Eagles fans. When you find out that he jumps back up to pick, let's see, Penei Sewell or some defensive tackle from some whatever. I just think that y'all are all getting so excited thinking he's gonna jump over these premier guys, and it ain't gonna be like that.
So let's look at the footprints in the sand real quick. Now, when the Doug Peterson situation went down before he got fired, remember Doug and Howie had that press conference that he's still going to be coach, this, that, and the third, and Howie then told all the Eagle fans is that, this is Doug's team, he picks the players, what all that stuff he said. But something that stood out that a lot of you guys is forgetting, that Jeffery Lurie, and regardless what nobody say, because it's crunch time here in the 215 with this team, all right, it's the heat is on. Jeffery Lurie told him he has to nail this draft by any means necessary. By any means necessary. And I don't always trust Beetlejuice, but this time I believe him, because we're hearing stories of Beetlejuice we never heard before. All right. It's a control. Right.
More say, more power. Yeah, but let me ask you something, Whip. Let me ask you something to that point, because I don't want you to get off. Like I'm interested in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. If that is the case, right? If the case is that Jeff is scrutinizing Howie on a different level than he ever has before,
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, what do you think Jeff would want to see in order to? Because think about it right now. We've already extended. We've already given Howie 3 years. In Jeff's head, he's not killing him for this season. He's not killing him for next season. He's killing him for season 3. So realistically, he's going to have how many opportunities? 3 more drafts before he actually gets evaluated on his work.
Well, Jeffery Lurie,
I don't know. What do you think?
No, Jeffery Lurie basically told you what he wants. He told you, I don't want you running the ball. I want you to pass it.
Mm-hmm. But then why hire Nick Sirianni? Nick Sirianni runs the ball way more. That was our key to success in 2017.
True, but you got to keep in mind he's ruling with an iron fist. We've never seen this type of owner before that he's become. He's worse than Jerry Jones from what reports is coming out about him. So if he's telling you he want to pass the ball, what's that telling you what type of player he wants?
Mm-hmm. He wants offense.
Correct.
He wants wide receiver.
Exactly. So you just said it. He wants a wide receiver. So even though we need a corner, just like I said to y'all about 3 or 4 minutes ago, something is brewing here in the NovaCare complex when it comes to the draft.
Why not both?
Exactly. So
does it pertain to Zach Ertz?
Correct. Maybe. But
why not both? Why not a corner? Why not an offensive guy? Let's get it.
I agree. But check this out. Who's to say they won't flip their third?
Hey,
oh, yeah, because we have 3 thirds, right?
There is one smart thing that I saw on Twitter today by our old buddy, our old pal who used to run things, Mr. Banner. And he said that the Dolphins overpaid the Eagles. And I would agree. The Dolphins gave us a lot.
They did.
And us moving up is not going to cost nearly as much as it did for them to move down. I mean, for them to kind of to take our spot.
Exactly.
And I would agree with that. And like I said, Howie is good at transactions. I have no problem with his transactions. I have issues with how he evaluates talent and his interpersonal skills. Those are the things that I think are suffering and are ruining our team long term.
I agree 100%. But
Jeff Lurie's too fucking comfortable to be a goddamn football player. Like the NFL stands for not for long, motherfucker. Why do you have this goddamn 10-year decade GM that's only brought you what, like one really good season and a bunch of mediocre seasons? And nothing but humiliation and just scorn from your fans. Like I'm on Twitter all the time, and like we're tired. Like there's no enthusiasm, there's no excitement, there's nothing. I feel that Philly fans are more excited about the Flyers and the Phillies than they are the Eagles. Like that to Jeff Lurie should be a really like an alarm bell.
So and you know what? To piggyback off of what you just said, I agree with you. But you got to keep in mind
themselves some time.
Correct. Jeff Lurie knows how bad this city loves the Eagles. He knows that. So this is why he's grabbing us by the throat and doing Thanos on us to what he did to Loki. Just snap the neck. He knows it. He knows it. Okay,
he got us gripped up hard, don't he?
Yes,
we down bad. We are so down.
If the fans did not show their love for this team the way that they do, I can almost guarantee you he'll be doing whatever it takes to get the fan base to love this team. But since the Eagles are number 1 in the city, PA, Jersey, Delaware, everybody knows that. He like, man, I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do.
It's
because
true.
They fiend for us.
True.
Without the Eagle green in Philly is like peanut butter without no jelly. It just don't go together.
It's true. It's a cheesesteak with no cheese.
Like,
what you doing?
Fact, there you go.
No burger.
Exactly.
I mean, John, no time.
Right? Ocean, no water. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. So that's, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, to wrap this topic up and keep going or get John's thoughts on it, I honestly believe Beetlejuice put Howie Roseman in a corner. Mm-hmm. You have a choice to make. Either nail this draft or look at your replacement in the background because his name was put out there in the report.
Right. It's true. His name was put out there for a reason.
Correct.
And I definitely agree with you that somebody's waiting in the wings to take his spot. So, John, I'm gonna give you the last word on Howie in the draft.
Yep. Who you got?
He's really good in middle rounds. Mm-hmm. If you think back, he had
scouting.
He had to hit early. Bad first round. He has to trust the scouting department and give those guys a voice and like really like take into account the best player available instead of being cute and taking Jalen Reagor instead of Jefferson. Like what? Like,
but that was right a somebody else pick, right? Again, back to what I'm saying is like we could see it in the draft. The first couple rounds are clearly Howie ownership, and then maybe like whatever, and then after that it's scouting, it's coaching, it's the stuff that says, oh look, these guys can develop.
You want to know what I'm gonna be looking forward to the most, guys, and we can wrap it up on this. I'm going to be looking forward to all the Eagle fans that's going to be joining the Three Birds and a Punt on our first NFL draft Zoom party.
Yes.
All right. And you can also get involved with that. Just follow us on Twitter at Three Birds and a Punt, DM us, and we got you. But
send you a link.
Correct. What I'm looking forward to is to see what other teams are looking at what the Eagles may do, because we've been the laughing stock.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right, I won't forget the Vikings laughing at us.
Correct.
That will always stick in my craw.
I can almost guarantee you that every Eagle fan in America and probably overseas,
Connor,
is probably saying the same thing I am saying right now. I can almost guarantee you, John, that every other team who don't like the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Vikings, they're going to be waiting so they can laugh their ass off again to see how mature Howie Roseman became from messing up that Justin Jefferson, drafting him. So yeah. I'm waiting to see what happens on the 29th. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, y'all. Let's get off these sorry old Eagles and get on to something a little bit more pleasant, something that's giving us a little bit more fun, and that's my Here They Come Sixers.
Hell yeah.
Sixers. I see John's got my man JoJo's jersey on, got to represent. I see you got the new city edition. Okay, I see you, John. I see you. So
I think that jersey is trash, bro.
That jersey is trash. I agree.
It's different.
The shorts are nice though. I had those.
The shorts is hot. But real quick, before we get into the Sixers, man, shout out to these boys yesterday. All right. Good win yesterday. Philly's looking good, even though they losing tonight. But shout out to that big win yesterday. I appreciate that. We need more of that. Let's just keep it going. All right, John, start off with the Sixers talk, brother.
So let's get into it, all right? The Sixers are first in the East. They had a good game against the Nets the other day. I saw that one. I did not see the game against the Clippers, so I want y'all to break that down because I'm out of market on some of these games.
Indeed.
Let me know how'd you feel about it.
Well, first and foremost, we gonna hear from the Clipper fans out there who was hating heavily. I mean, big time heavy on the Sixers today and yesterday, saying that
salty.
If y'all can't even win a game without Kawhi and Beverly and everybody else not in the game, y'all shouldn't even be celebrating.
Who said that?
Oh, the Clipper fans said that.
They just hurt. That's the hurt talking.
Are you serious? We were missing.
But
that's the hurt. Play the tiny violin. Let's play it.
But I gotta be Mr. Scrooge. They kind of right.
No.
We went out to Tobias and Seth though.
No, they are. I'm gonna tell you why they are. Paul George was their main scorer yesterday, right? and we had JoJo and Ben on the team, and we came out the gate kicking ass. All right, what was it? 20-3, 21-3, something like that. I was watching it
20-3,
and I went back and
20-3.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Green had 2 threes.
Correct. Here's my thing with the Sixers. I love my squad. Doc Rivers have to find a way to keep these dudes' foot on the damn pedal.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, if you're coming out the gate putting up 20 on a team and only kept them to 3, you should be having your foot on their neck, telling them to beg, having them beg for mercy.
Not to say you got to run gassers after practice, but y'all got to do something. It's the same thing
I
saw in the Nets game, right?
Correct.
I was watching the Nets game and we was dominating it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" All right, like we giving it to them. This is a preview of the playoffs or whatever. Even though I know KD wasn't there, the beard wasn't there, whatever. Yeah. And so I'm watching the game, and at one point we are like 26 points ahead. He had pulled all the starters. It's just bench, and then you turn around, it's like 6 points, 3 points, 2 points. You're like, how'd you let the bench outwork you? And that's all it was, right then and there. It was outworked, and that's going to be a problem come playoffs if they cannot get their conditioning up and recognize that they have to be workhorses out there.
I agree.
There's 3 things with that, and that's perfect because as soon as Embiid left the game, as soon as Ben left the game, missing Tobias in his last game.
True.
The Nets game, Tobias was kind of like he got off, but it's the perimeter defense. They commit so much sometimes when the ball's inside.
I agree.
They miss defending that jumper. They got killed. The Clippers are the best 3-point shooting team in the league.
Indeed.
You saw it. They were freaking Peterson had 17 points on the bench.
Yeah, that's crazy.
5 points a game. Like that comes back to, and they're good defenders. Good defenders, but perimeter, like, I don't know. They give up that easy 3 so easy. Like they don't contest the shots, and then 18-point lead turns into you being up by 3 points.
But this is where veteran presence come in at. This is why George Hill need to stop with the damn I'm hurt shit and get it going.
He had surgery in his thumb.
Man, I don't listen, dude. Listen.
No, he's going to be back in time for the playoffs.
Let me explain something to you, bro. All right. I get that and all. All right.
No, he's not with that. He's like, fuck that shit. Throw some dirt on it.
Because check this out. If you can go out there before the game start and shoot threes and get it going,
that's true.
He said, bro. Whip straight up said, throw some dirt on it. Give him some pills and let's go.
Nah, dude, I'm not trying to hear that playoff stuff because guess what? Teams now, it's almost playoff time soon, John. It's almost that time.
Yeah,
all right.
Nice to keep that first place.
When you got Ben Simmons' only concern is the damn defensive player of the year, that's a problem to me.
Because he's not. I think
he is. That's all he's thinking about.
Offense, they try to keep the tempo.
His whole mindset.
I wouldn't think that they're because guess what? The same way that Ben is making his case for defensive player of the year is the same way JoJo is making his case.
But JoJo have every right to say that because he's doing the damn thing.
Yeah. Hold on now. To your point, we're talking about defensive player of the year. Is not Ben doing his damn thing defensively?
Yeah, he is, but at the same time,
but you're mad. You're mad that he's not doing his thing offensively.
No,
right?
No. It's not that. No. Please. That's not what I'm saying. Whatsoever. Let me correct myself. If that's what I'm the energy I'm giving off.
Right. I'm wondering why are you upset with Ben?
Every time Ben gets on the TV after a win, he always talking about. There's nobody ahead of me, defensive player. Dude, we already know that you balling out when it comes to stopping people. All right, you get what I'm saying? Put that
to bed because you have established yourself. And now let's go farther.
Correct. That's all I'm saying. Dude, we already know what it is, bro. Do your thing.
Tell the media stop asking dumbass questions.
Right. Okay. To be fair, the media is trying. It's not necessarily
that's their
like
job,
he's coming
John.
out there.
That's their job.
The media is trying to get him
That's their job.
This is the only thing I have to say.
Shit, we the media. If you really want to be honest, we the media because we,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
This is what I have to say as far as the whole Ben thing goes, because I go back and forth with Ben. On the one hand, I love his tenacity because when he's on, he's like glue. Y'all can't shake a motherfucker. He's everywhere, and I love it. But he throttles it up and he throttles it down, just like the team. Just like the team.
I agree.
And as we want consistency. So from him my thing is I need him to be consistent on the floor every night when he's putting up the points. If you want to be a part of the best, you have to be able to give that work consistent. It cannot change. It cannot go up. It cannot go down. It has to be consistent. And then my next thing is I need him to take on a shooter mentality. I'm sorry. I understand that it's not his game. But no. I see the way Embiid works on his skills and gets better and does what he needs to do to learn and train and become a well-rounded dominant player. I want to see the same out of Ben. I know he's got things going on in his life. I know there's some personal issues, but you gotta want to be better. Like Whip said, you already know you're Defensive Player of the Year. Want more.
Facts. And that's all I'm saying. And when you can sit there and see your teammate dominate in the NBA the way he is, and the dude was out with an injury, came back like he ain't never left.
It should inspire him.
So look, Joker was up here killing it. He still may be the MVP because he hasn't missed a game. But guess what? If JoJo continue to keep playing like this and don't get hurt no more, he still could possibly win the MVP.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. All right. So when I mentioned Ben, is no ill will. I like Ben. I'm a Ben fan. But the problem with Ben is, dude, get your mind the fuck off the defensive player. We already know what it is.
Right.
All right. Your team needs you. George Hill needs to get off that nut-ass wrist thing. Stop jacking up threes like during the game.
I need Steph Curry to give me more.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing. Why ain't they playing
Danny Green?
My guy,
you right, John.
Maxey.
B-ball Paul.
he played. He got some minutes. He got 18
minutes.
To
play more. He needs to play more.
He does.
He needs to play more.
See, Doc, if you think back to his Boston days, he doesn't like rookies. Think about the reason he let Rondo start is because they really didn't have a point guard, and he was drafted to be their point guard. He was tough on him. He does not like rookies. Like he's harder on rookies.
He in the wrong city for that. Then
never see.
Right, rookies play.
Wrong city for that. Because guess what?
I think he's getting more time now. I think they want to. I don't know. They don't want to wear him out and put too much on him.
So what? Okay. So what's your thoughts on Maxey then? Because guess what? He need to be playing too, and he don't get the time.
That's true. And when we play the Knicks, I see Quigley from the other team starting. I'm like, yo, that was his teammate. His teammate
exactly. And guess what? His teammate is averaging more points than him.
He's the top 10 rookie of the year.
Correct. Wow. You get what I'm saying?
So no, he's gotta give us more.
So that's like at the end of
that's the story of the season. Like we love everything that we're seeing out of the team, and with JoJo, the sky's the limit. But we need more. This is not this. The way that they go back and forth is not enough to win a championship. It's just not.
I agree. And Ben Simmons made a statement, and y'all two guys can agree with this. He sat there and said that this is the time to win a championship. Not now, bro. You need more. Like my partner
you need more. You got to work.
You need more.
You right. Like Kobe said, more.
That's right. He's like, Kanye was like, what the fuck is you talking about, Kobe Bryant?
More.
And yo, awesome. Yeah.
And that leads us into our last segment of the day, as we are remembering the great Kobe Bryant. We also want to bring our RIPs and our remembrance to two great hip-hop legends we lost this last couple of weeks. I really want to spend some time and really get our thoughts. You know, I think I don't necessarily have too many memories of Black Rob, so I'm gonna leave that to y'all. But DMX, if every memory of hip hop in my mind has my Rough Riders, okay, then I don't know. If I'm from Philly, then I'm a Rough Rider. You heard me?
That's right.
So I'm just so shocked, and it's just such a tragedy that he passed away at 50. Why do all our greats pass away so young? 50 years young. It just reminds me of Michael. It just reminds me of all these other great artists who kind of
Prince and all of them.
An impression, you know. So what do you guys think?
So here's the thing, right? All right. So what y'all guys don't know about me, I also rap as well. All right. I'm a real lyricist. John will tell you.
Oh, okay, you spit.
Oh shit. John, tell her, John.
He can spit.
Yeah. The thing with me is, like, I'm a lyricist myself. So when I think of hip hop people, man, that dominated decades of hip hop music, that's DMX. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. I remember when X came out. It was the four of them that came out. It was Big Pun, Cannabis, DMX, and Cameron. Mm-hmm. Them four came out the same time.
Yo, I love Cameron. That's sports.
Okay. They all came out the same time. And if you think about this, man, we lost Pun, we lost X. Cameron and Cannabis is the last two of that clique right there. So to make a long story short, I was around when DMX first came out, and I was like, yo, this cat and his voice is a problem. And when I heard that, and I heard the first album, man, and Stop Being Greedy track, I was like, ooh, this boy energy is a problem. And when he performed at Woodstock, if Freebird fans, if you have never seen a performance in your lifetime filled with energy from one man that rocked the crowd, I'm talking about, it looked like it was millions of people. It was like, it was jam-packed. DMX is the guy you need to check out. So with that being said, and the Black Rob too, whoa, you remember that, John? Whoa.
Yeah, I bad boy for life. Like
facts. So with that being said, I'm gonna let my partner get his shout outs to him. But rest in peace, X. Love you, dog. You will be missed. Your music will be blasted on the regular. Same thing with Black Rob, bad boy for life. You up there with Biggie now. Tell him we said hi, bro.
That's right,
John.
DMX was special because he realized at a certain point of his success, he messed up and continued to mess up. And then once he hit rock bottom, he realized he had to get better. And it was a constant battle for him. Like it seemed like his later years, like he really came into himself, and God bless that family, man. Yo,
if I could just throw in I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I can't even imagine like that. Like he made such an impact on hip hop, and like the generation now, they have no idea.
No idea.
We grew up with Rough Riders anthem. We grew up with
they don't know. They don't know anything about Eve. They don't know nothing about the Rough Rider. They don't know nothing about the Locks. None of that.
None of it.
Yeah, that Rough Rider soundtrack. That Rough Rider soundtrack. Gosh.
Listen, guys, that's on all the playlist. I just two things. I just gotta quickly to DMX. Number one, his story just goes to show you how catastrophic the disease of addiction can be, and how we really have to hold and support the people who struggle with addiction, because it isn't a disease that they cannot control. I will tell you this right now. I work in the field. There is not one addict that wants to be like that. If they could, they would change it. And it's a disease that takes a hold of their mind. And so my heart goes out to anyone struggling with addiction. And I think too, the fact that he trusted somebody as a young man, he trusted somebody to make sure he was safe when he was going out and experimenting with new things. And that man got him hooked on the drug that would eventually take his life. It's just something that really bothers me. And then just also to say what I really thought was amazing was that DMX was always speaking truth to power. Always. Whether he was talking about the music industry, whether he was talking about the way the media acts, or whether he was talking about his relationship with God, which I thought was his most powerful testimony. He was always speaking truth to power. And there's not enough people like that out there. And so he will be missed because there's not enough of us.
Rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace.
All right, y'all. This has been a great episode of Three Birds and a Punt. We counted down to the draft. We got into the athletics report, talk Sixers. Like my man Whip said, we are having a Zoom draft party. DM us on Twitter so we can send you the link. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to the pod. Okay, we're hoping to have the party on April 29th, about an hour and a half before the draft. If y'all come, we're hoping to do some type of mock draft. So please get your boards right. Okay, get your board. Connor, I'm talking to you, man. Get your board right, because I'm going to see you in a couple weeks and we're going to talk about it, okay? So now, please make sure you're following us. Subscribe to the pod. We are streaming on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Three Birds and a Punt. And you can also follow us on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that as well. And you can follow me personally at According to Afia, and you can follow my friends. Whip changes his name so much, I honestly don't know.
How about?
And I tell him that, and he say, "No, never again, never again."
So let me do my Ric Flair, my styling and profiling on this real quick. All right. So the reason I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put myself on blast, ladies and gents. All right. My mind is like a damn racetrack. That shit keep going. When I think it's some like when I think it's some fly shit, I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's it. That's me.
But I came up with something, and she'll tell you, I said, you know what? I was in my bed, it was late. I said, I'm gonna just go through some names. And I seen, and here's my Twitter account, y'all. Y'all can follow me. Great 3ST _ You ask yourself what that means? Greatest _ Great 3ST. And I was like, ooh, wee. That shit's
nobody will find you with.
Not changing no more. Go ahead, John. Where can they find you at, John?
Lives.
You can follow me at John Monroe Jr.
She said lies. She said lies. Real quick. I'm gonna make a bet. I'm gonna make a bet to my co-host right now. All right, real quick before we go. It is 8:21 p.m. It is April 17th, 2021. If I change my name, I owe both of you guys $20 each.
Wait. What's the time frame? If you change your name by the draft, because we'll be back.
No. The timeline. Okay, so I gotta keep my name until the end of this year. If I can do that,
okay.
If I can't do that,
I will give you a couple weeks. Because I know you can't be. I'm about to be $20 richer.
I just want to let you know.
What you gonna buy with your $20, John?
I just want to let you know my routing number is 01313.
John,
what you gonna spend your $20 on? What you gonna spend your $20 on, John?
An Eagles towel.
Yeah.
Some Eagles slide.
That's gonna be one towel. That's gonna be one towel your own ass gonna be buying, brother. Because I ain't changing my name.
Did you see the Eagles draft hats?
I did.
No, those are ugly. I ain't getting those.
Yeah, snapbacks. I'm like, what the heck?
Yes.
Hey, wait. I like snapbacks, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with them.
No. But the trucker, like the trucker style.
The trucker hats. Yeah, I'm not for that. Okay, Whip, you said you wasn't gonna change your name. It's 4/17/2021. You got until 4/17/2022.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's get it.
Eagles fans, he will be changing his name.
No, I won't. They're gonna be getting there. They're gonna be spending their own shit with their own money. That I promise.
All right. You gotta tune back in next week to see what happens. Okay, I guarantee you won't want to miss this. This has been another episode of Three Birds. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like. We want to hear what you have to say about our show. This has been episode 22. Go Birds.
Be safe out there.
Go Birds. Let's go.